Hi and welcome to our free event to 10x your lead generation. I'm really glad that you are with us and you're going to stick with us and hopefully learn a couple of tips and tricks about improving your marketing. My name is Laura and I run LMNts Marketing, which is a full service sales funnel agency here in the UK. We are in Flodron, which is halfway between Liverpool and Manchester, or Liverpool and Chester. And we work with life coaches, business coaches, and anyone who is selling services and wants to work smarter instead of harder. And that's exactly what this presentation is all about. It is about 10xing your business by improving your lead generation, your marketing, your automations, and hopefully having a better lifestyle. So let's get started. So, who is this event for, and why should you listen to me as a sales funnel expert here in the UK? As I said, around a sales funnel agency, I've got an experience of over 10 years uh, with delivering sales funnels and results for our clients. It includes full strategy, implementation, conversion optimization, helping them with the offers, and I also do some sales funnel coaching for clients who need some more one-on-one support. And that's my superpower. I make your marketing work so you don't have to pay high retainer fees to agencies just to deliver the same old, same old. I've been in that industry and I don't want to do that. We always look at how can we make more difference for our clients, and I believe that this presentation is going to make a massive difference for you and your business, because I'm going to share things with you that I normally only share with my private coaching clients. He actually pay me thousands of pounds a month to help them. So it is worth sticking around and listening to my Hungarian accent to see whether or not this is going to help you. If you are on 5 figures at the moment, I want you to jump to 6. If you are on 6, I want you to go for 7, but without actually compromising your personal income. What I usually see is that people say, "Oh, I'm actually making 6 figures, but I'm still broke." I don't want you to be that person. I want you to be the person who is making a really good living, but also living their purpose. We only work with purpose-driven entrepreneurs who want to reach more people and help more people. So if this is you, it's definitely a training that you should tune into. First of all, I would like to get started with the effective lead generation strategies that we have developed here at LMNts Marketing. They are proven to work and they are going to help you 10x your business. So when I talk about effective lead generation, I don't talk about cold calling, cold emailing, and everything like that, because it is not the best use of your time, money, efforts. If you're trying to please everyone, you are never going to please anybody. And that's a fact because I've seen it happen. So recently we had an inquiry from a client, business to business services, and they shared with us an insight in the industry. They actually said that they had a company send out 10,000 emails for them. And when we asked them, okay, how much did you make on it? They said, so I don't want you to be that person, he turns around saying, oh, out of the 10,000, I got nothing back. It is not a good way of doing marketing at all. And I just don't want you to have the same problems. So when I talk about effective lead generation, I talk about pretty much targeting the right people, getting the right conversions, and engaging with the right audience that you're most likely to be able to help. So next I'm going to show you what the main things you need are to get started with creating a winning lead generation strategy. The first thing you need is an irresistible offer, lead magnet, we call them. And recently we've seen a couple of things that just did not make sense. Let me explain. So somebody sets up a lead magnet and they just go on buy a very cheap course that was probably written in 2005, 2010, and they expect results. Back in the noughties, you would say that a free ebook, a free consultation, they still worked because there were not many people who were able to offer that or have the infrastructure to make an offer to you. Today, with all the tools available, all the lead magnet, all the capture forms, all the automations, everyone's got an offer. Everybody's got something that they want to give away. But the question is not what you can give away. The question is what your audience is interested in. So that's a massive difference. And that's why I would definitely say irresistible offer, irresistible lead magnet is essential to having a 6 or 7 figure business in any industry. You will need to think like your prospects think. And I can't tell you who said this because I think it was first published in a book, but loads of marketing experts used this quote that you've got to enter the conversation that's going on in your prospect's head. So I would like to repeat this because it's very important. So you've got to enter the conversation that's going on in your prospect's head. Until you figured out your ideal clients and until you figured out who you want to attract, it's just not going to happen unless you know everything and you've got a hidden webcam in their home so you can spy on them, or you're a mind reader. You will have to put in the work and you will have to try and figure out what keeps them up at night. And that's one of the questions we always ask our clients. They come to an ideal client meeting or an exercise with us. So what I would like you to do is think about what keeps your ideal clients up at night and write down that question. Put it on your screen, put it on your fridge, put it on your front door and think about it long and hard. And don't just come up with general things. It's got to be something that only you can do for them. And that's going to be your irresistible offer. And I'm going to cover it in more detail in a bit, but just a simple ebook that's a collection of all your 10-year-old blog posts are not going to cut it. Just some AI generated content is not going to cut it. just a simple free consultation is not going to cut it. So bear that in mind. It's got to be very special, tailored to your ideal client's needs, wants, and problems. And another thing I wanted to share with you is there is this, I would call it eagerness in the industry where people want to share everything with everyone, and they are trying to make so many offers that they confuse the audience. And as you can see in the picture, a confused mind always says no. Again, I can't actually quote anyone on that because so many people say that, and it is true. A confused mind always says no. So that means that if you've got more than one call to action on an email, on a landing page, on a website, it's just going to confuse the heck out of your audience, and they are not going to take action. It's as simple as that. You need to remember to have one offer. And this is a really good example um, from politics. He remembers what Boris Johnson said in his prime minister campaign. There was only one thing, and every single time he got near a camera or a microphone or a webcam or anywhere or spoke to journalists, he said those three words. So if you know what it is, write it down in the comments. And there was another famous one from Donald Trump. He said the very same thing over and over again. So, and they won. They got what they wanted. So why would you do that? And I'm not going to go into politics, but pretty much that's the reason why nobody else had any chance against them, because they were saying different things. They were trying to please different people. They couldn't find that common ground. And they just had no chance. So a confused mind always says no, and you've got to unconfuse your audience. This is something I usually say to our coaching clients. So make sure that you've got one offer, you communicate it very clearly. And just a quick note on that one. I used to know a couple of life coaches, business coaches, and they would change their offer every couple of weeks. I'm not even saying every 6 months, every couple of weeks they would change what they offer or who they want to work with. And God, boy, did it work. No, it didn't. They went back to struggling and starting from scratch. So don't be that person, please. Make sure that you do have one solid offer that is for your prospects. So once you are aware that the confused mind always says no, it's time to move on to a very important thing, and so many people just ignore it as if it was not important, and it is important. Qualify your leads, and it's very, very important that you put the qualification process in the beginning and the end of the funnel. We do use to quiz software here at LMNts Marketing. One of them is Typeform, which is more suitable for a simple beginning of the funnel quizzes, and we also use Score App. I mentioned Daniel Priestley briefly, which is better for the later ones. So, as I said, in the beginning of the funnel, you've got to qualify people to make sure that you're talking to the right people. And as they progress through your funnel, you've got to also check in with them to make sure that they are still with you, they are the right fit. And that's when you branch off your funnel and segment your list. We do use Active Campaign for lead segmentation, and it's a brilliant tool. We are actually Active Campaign partners. So that is a very good way of qualifying your leads and making sure that you're not wasting your energy on people. And that's one of the things that people get wrong, especially life coaches, business coaches, free consultation. Why would you give up your time, even if it's 15 minutes of your time on the wrong people? It's just crazy. And I used to do that. I've been there, I've done that, I've got the t-shirt, so I know what I'm talking about. I used to talk to anyone and everyone, hoping that they would be my ideal client. But now I know that I can actually be sure that they are my ideal client before I speak to them. And that's the beauty. So that's the reason why qualifying your leads is also important. We did actually dedicate one cornerstone blog post to this topic. So if you go on the marketingfunnel.website blog, you will find it searching for qualify your leads. You will have the whole process described in there, absolutely free. So take whatever you want, because it's probably going to make your marketing much leaner, more efficient, improve your conversions, and potentially this one step and one step only is going to 10x your business already. So now that we've got the three major things covered for lead generation, which is the irresistible offer, uh, not confusing your audience, and qualifying your leads, we can move on to the main topic of today's webinar, which is conversion optimization. So you've got to think in the place of your ideal clients. Why would they want to do business with you, and what would they benefit from, and how can you help them? And that's all going to improve your conversion optimization. So the better the match it is, the more likely you're going to do business with the person. It's like going on a first date. The better you actually match on the system, on the dating site, or based on recommendations, the more aligned interest and values you've got, the better chance you will have for a second date or the third date, or going out, or even marriage. So it is the same thing. And I always say this to our clients, and they are often laugh at that until they realize I'm actually touching a very sensitive point. Your audience wants to have a relationship with you. So they don't want to be talking to a robot, AI, or anything like that. They want to feel like they are personally connected with you. That's why I usually use the dating example when I talk about building relationships with your clients, and that's essential for optimizing your conversions. So, building a relationship starts with looking good. So, you will not turn up in your scruffy clothes on your first date. You will want to look your best, probably. So, ladies will put on the makeup, guys will do the grooming, and they will pick a nice shirt, probably color coordinate so they look elegant, and pick their style. So it's important as well that they give themselves and don't appear to be someone else. And it all goes down to one thing, which is credibility building. In our books, credibility building is pretty much having the authority, the reach, and the influence. So authority, I mean how many followers you've got and how many people engage with your content and how many recommendations you've got, and have you been mentioned by a very important magazine or outlet, or have you won any awards? The reach again is how many potential people you can reach and how big is your audience, because at the end of the day, marketing is pretty much like high school. So no one wants to be friends with someone who's got no friends, but everyone wants to be friends with the captain of the baseball, football, basketball team. It's as simple as that, because they are popular. So how popular are you on a scale of 1 to 100? That's going to be determining your authority and your influence. So have you published any new things? Do people quote what you said? Have you appeared on a podcast, for example? If you haven't, it's probably time to get started on it. So after the relationship is established, you've got to give your audience a few reasons why they should be engaging with you. And a couple of examples here are testimonials, mentions, blog posts, publications, anything that gain trust in your audience. Uh, and this is a very, very good question I often ask my coaching clients. And then the light bulb goes on. It is, would you let the doctor perform a complicated operation on you if you didn't trust them? That's a very good question. I personally would not. And in fact, I have actually traveled across Europe to find a dentist back in Hungary because I trusted them, and I literally did not trust the private dentist I went to see. And other people are the same. And if it comes down to money and your own money or your investment or your brand or your business itself, it is very important that you are choosing someone credible. And that's why you've got to be credible as well. So if your clients consider you as an expert, that's a good start, but they will still need a few confirmations from your market, from other people. And that's why when we build up email marketing campaigns and sequences, we always focus on trust, credibility before we actually go for the sale. So the higher the price tag on your services is, the more credibility building exercise you will have to do. So don't skip this step. And create a trust building sequence in your marketing. That's the main takeaway from this slide. Take note, because this will be crucial for 10xing your business. So now that we have established that you need to have the credibility for people to connect with you, I would like to consider a very important formula, which is called the hook, the story, and the offer. This is the invention of ClickFunnels founder Russell Brunson, and it's a really, really good thing. So what you do is you give them a hook, which I will explain in a minute. You tell them a story, and then loop it together. So I created an infographic that's going to explain it a little bit better, where you actually reflect back to the hook, their problem, and make them an offer that's related to solving that problem. And that's how you're going to improve your conversions and hopefully 10x your business as well. So this little infographic shows you how they are all related and go around in a circle when it comes to your marketing messages. So the first one is the hook, and the main purpose of the hook is to stop them in their tracks. I already mentioned that people are facing quite a lot of distraction these days, and that also means that they will have a very, very short attention span, and they will be distracted every second almost. And that means that they will not stop scrolling on their phones unless it is something that hits home. And that's the hook. An example of a hook could probably be something that touches their pain points. So it can be something like, have you been trying to improve your team productivity for the past 18 months without results? That's a really good hook, because people who are in that segment are going to stop scrolling and listen to what you've got to say. But instead of saying this is the solution, you will tell them an intriguing story. And the intriguing story is something that Russell Brunson calls a soap opera sequence. So in a soap opera, usually on the last few seconds of the episode, you've got a very, it's like a cliffhanger every single time. So you don't know what's going to happen. Someone's standing over another person with a knife, for example. And that's the scene you've got to put in the beginning of your story. So how he says it is, for example, you can say, I was sitting in this restaurant thinking, and you fill the blanks. It can be anything. I had a really good message that had a really good reaction recently when I said I was sitting in this pub, which is a true story, by the way. And after I returned, I fired a client with $5,000 a month, and it is true as well. So you want to find out what's behind it and what caused that problem. And that's when you tie down the story, the background, what took you to that point, what happened before. And after that, you will have to connect that story to their existing problems, which are also in the hook. So it's all got to be connected. Address them problems and be relevant. So once you look back to the original problem you addressed in your hook from your story, that is the point when you will have to make that offer. So the irresistible offer, or how I say, quoting The Godfather, make them an offer they can't refuse. And that's very important in marketing, that if it is not strong enough, if the offer is not strong enough, then you're not going to get a new client. And it does happen. If you think about advertising and call to actions, it's usually focusing on either moving away from fear or moving towards pleasure. And that person's motivation will have to be so strong to take action. So that should be the best offer you can make. and it's got to be an offer they can't refuse. And that obviously will have to be related to the hook again. So it's got to reference their problems and show them how you can solve it and make them an offer they can't refuse. It's very important. So the second section of this training session is done now. So we've got the hook story offer, which is a very important messaging sequence, and that's the credibility building. So first you focus on building your credibility. Second, you craft your messages. And now we can move on to conversion maximization. Now it might sound a little bit on top of your head, or something that you don't really know, because so many people use these words and they don't really know themselves what it means. Conversion maximization is pretty much making sure that you get as many clients out of the lead pool as you can, and you only deal with the people who are very strong prospects. Otherwise, you are going to waste your energy. And there are a couple of ways. So once you have had the reputation management sorted, once you've got the hook story offer and the content and the engagement on it, and you made them an offer, which is very important. So Denise DT, money mindset coach, she always says that she comes across quite a few people who think, why am I not making money? And she goes on their website, and there's literally no place on the website that is actually asking people to take action and pay. So you do have to make an offer, otherwise you're not going to convert. It's as simple as that. So a couple of ways to do that. One of the main and the easiest to implement ways is the sense of urgency. So you will have to get people to feel like if they are not taking action today, they are losing out. They are either losing out on profits or losing money, or they are going to be left behind. So a sense of urgency is very similar to fear of missing out. Another way you can use conversion maximization tweaks is creating bonuses. Um, I have seen a lot of websites and sales pages with massive value stacking lists and everything else. But at the end of the day, they weren't, if it's not credible and people don't believe that you're giving them 27 for $27, you give them £27,000 worth of value, it's not going to be worth it. So it has to be, the numbers will have to add up, and it's got to be credible as well. For example, if you are selling a coaching program or a course, you can offer a bonus of free consultations so they can make the most out of the training or a coaching program. Or you can add a complimentary service or a free download, a free workbook if you are a life coach. It's as simple as that. But you will have to back up your claims. So if you say, get this workbook for free and it's worth $57, for example, better have a sales page that is selling it for $57. Otherwise, no one, people are going to get smart, and they will say, oh, this is just another scammer. So you've got to make sure that you do have that offer in place and you're actually making sales of $57. Otherwise, you're going to quickly lose the credibility we just built up a couple of steps back. And obviously, the next one is huge. It's massive. I can't tell you how many people I come across who say, "Yeah, I did write a sequence of 5, and I send it out every day." And said, "Okay, what are you doing now?" "Well, I ran out of content and email, so I'm not following up." So, how long ago was this? And they said, "Well, about a year ago." And I'm like, why do you expect people to be still engaging with you after a year of not hearing of you? And why do you think they even remember who you are and what you offer? And believe me, I did that same mistake and I did lose subscribers over it because I just took a short break and then I went back and I expected everything to be the same. It's like with a relationship. You walk out of the house and leave, don't say a word for about a year, and then come back a year later expecting everything to be the same, and your wife still being there, the children still remembering you, and there might be another guy already in the house. You don't know because they never heard of you. And it's the same thing with marketing. And another reason why you should be doing follow up is because, especially if you are selling high ticket coaching services, uh, people might not be in the right mindset to buy. They might not be ready. They might not trust you enough. So they need a reminder why they engaged with you the first time. Um, And if they get a reminder constantly, it will be on their mind and they will probably be looking out for more content and will keep on considering your offer. But if you disappear for a year, don't expect them to welcome you with open arms because it's not going to happen. So if you invested money in gaining traffic, obviously it's important that you maximize the conversions, otherwise you might end up losing money. So the follow-up emails are there to actually show you that you are still there, you are still standing by your offer, you still think it's a good fit for them, so they should revisit it. Another really good way of maximizing your conversion rates is retargeting ads. Now, if we mentioned paid traffic and making sure that you've got a good return on investment, it's very important that you're retargeting people who are almost there. So the easiest example I can give you is an e-commerce website. So you're selling shoes. Okay, so you've got a website, you're selling shoes. There are software out there that can actually determine the IP address of people or the people's email address who are already on your list. He went as far as the checkout page and did not check out. Now, how much easier would it be for you to convince those people who were this close to do business with you than people who are just targeted randomly? Much easier. So if you are not doing retargeting ads, you are not maximizing your return on marketing ad spend, and you're definitely leaving money on the table. So consider that it's very, very important. And obviously, reputation management goes hand in hand with follow-ups, marketing, and sales. So it's important that you keep your reputation intact. Here at LMNts Marketing, for example, we do have an overall 5-star review and we are really proud of it. So it's always better, especially if you are starting up now, to under-promise and over-deliver instead of the other way around. Because it's not going to work if you do it the other way around. You will soon lose your reputation and you will lose your prospects' trust because people will say bad things about you and you will not have a business. You never have a business without a good reputation because information travels much faster on the internet than ever before. Previously, if you were a builder and you were really bad at it, you could just move somewhere else when nobody knew that you knocked down the wrong walls, or you couldn't even lay bricks straight because they didn't know the information wouldn't have traveled that fast. But now it does. So now it's important that you keep your reputation intact and you keep on working on your credibility. Because the most important reason why people would not buy from you is not that they don't have the money or they are not sure, whatever excuse they come up with. The most common reason why people will not buy from you is because they don't trust you enough. And we talked about the surgeon. So if I, for example, if I needed brain surgery and someone on the street came up to me saying, "Oh, I can do that," I would double check who they are, but I certainly would not let them operate on my brain unless I know I can trust them. They made the right impression. I can see that they are popular in their industry and people do engage with them. And they are credible. So I will check out all their degrees, all their employments, all the recommendations, everything before I even let them examine me, really. And that's the same with your prospects. They will carry on checking your reputation. And believe me or not, I I have caught myself doing that as well. So if I consider high-end coaching program, which I've actually got free that I'm considering taking on. Um, One of them was somebody I already trusted, so I keep on checking their content to make sure that they are still relevant to me. The other one, they disqualify themselves because they are just not in the right industry. And the third one actually turned back and said, "I really want to work with you, but I can't. I can't teach you anything you don't already know. You are doing everything right, Laura, so I don't have anything to sell to you." But as a contrast, last month I had an old business connection sending me a link to a webinar. And I asked one of my coaching clients on a call, I said, "Have you heard of this person?" And they said, no, I haven't, because they were more related to that industry. So we did a Google search. So unfortunately, many B2B marketing funnel developers forget about follow-up and reputation management, and it is a massive mistake. you've got to make sure that your existing clients are as happy as they can be. Otherwise, it's just not going to generate long-term results. So getting recommendations, for example, is by far the cheapest and most effective way of getting new leads to your business. We know it from first-hand experience here at LMNts Marketing. We do get recommendations from happy clients, and that's the best feeling ever. And you will be able to, you don't even have to pay for the referrals. We recently offered some of our clients referral fees, and they just refused it point blank. They said, no, we know that you can deliver, so we don't want anything of it. And that's a lovely feeling, and that's where you want to be as well in your business. So once you've got all the messaging, your ideal client profile, which is a big thing. So I recommend that you download the ideal client profile from our website as well. It's a worksheet which you can use in your own time and brainstorm even with your team to find out how you aligned with your ideal clients' values and problems. But so we've got everything in place. You've got the conversion optimization, you've got the offer, the hook, the story, you've got the reputation management, you've got the credibility. Now all we've got to do, which is the fun part really for me, is building a B2B marketing funnel. And this is again something that most marketing people get wrong. Here's what I mean. Let's say somebody goes to them and say, okay, I want to make $10,000 a month. And you say, okay, that's fine. So let's create an offer, let's create a landing page, let's create a email marketing campaign, and let's create some call to actions, and that's it, and that's done. That's their funnel development stopped there. And because I'm Hungarian and I'm weirder than most people, I like flipping things upside down. So instead of this funnel, I usually start like that. What I mean is I want to make sure what comes out there and then reverse engineer the whole process. And that's something I do with my one-to-one clients, and I do in my new course that I'm launching, and I'm planning on doing in my brand new 12 months 7-figure funnel jump program, which I will mention in a bit. So when you come to LMNts Marketing, we usually say, okay, how much money you do want to make? And then we say, okay, how much is your average customer value? And how many clients do we need to get there? And for that many clients, how many leads you need? And for that many leads, how much traffic you need? So it's all simple maths, really. And unfortunately, most marketing professionals can't see the wood from the trees, and they started the wrong way. So let's say somebody comes to us saying, I want to make £100,000 in the next 6 months. And we say, okay, so how much is an average customer worth to you? And they say, about 6,000. Okay, so that 100,000 divided by 6,000, that's how many new clients you need. And for that many conversions, calculating the conversion rate, the optimal conversion rate, how much effort we've got to put in and how long it will take for people to convert, because you can't expect people to buy straight away, as I mentioned before. So you will have to set up the campaign backwards. And that's something loads of motivational speakers mention when they say start with the end result in mind. And we have implemented this in LMNts Marketing in everything we do. So doing the research and starting with the end result in mind is crucial to building a successful funnel and marketing automation. So without completing these steps, you're not going to make a positive return on investment. Believe me, because I have seen that happening a lot of times. And that means you're just throwing your money out of the window. No matter how good your software is and how good your landing page is looking, you still have to think about the end result. And most people will get bogged down, oh, that letter is out of line. It doesn't matter, as long as you're making money, you can still fix it, because done is better than perfect. So you will have to have an offer out there as soon as you can. As an example, we've had quite a few clients who came to us. He signed up for ClickFunnels. Now, I'm not knocking ClickFunnels. It's a brilliant software, but you need to know how to use it. It's like giving me a box full of motorbike parts. I would have no clue how to put it together. It might be a perfect motorbike. It might be worth £600,000, as much as I know about them, but I don't know where to start. And that's where most people get stuck. They're just not sure, is this part or that part, and how do they fit together? And that's the reason Elements Marketing has a jigsaw puzzle with a missing piece on the logo. So you can see that sometimes finding one missing piece will actually complete the picture and make you jump from 0 to 100,000, or from 100,000 to a million, because you just have to find that one thing that's not working. And that's the reason we offer the marketing SWOT service for our clients in the beginning, before they even engage with us and we start building their funnel. So the problem is that loads of people sign up for all these software, but they don't know if how it's going to work, why they are doing things. They just click buttons, and it's just not working. So some of our clients actually spent 18 months with ClickFunnels and never made a penny. So that's 18 months times $99 per month. Just imagine that, not making any money or any sales, because they didn't have targeting right, and they didn't have all the jigsaw pieces together. So it's all about reverse engineering and designing the funnel from the end result, and not the other way around. So this is the end of the presentation for today, as it is. So we did talk quite a lot about what you need to create an irresistible offer. We talked about building a funnel. We talked about the importance of trust, reputation management. We also talked about how to structure your offers and how to actually prepare to communicate with your ideal clients. We talked about why your clients and your prospects want a relationship with you. So I believe that you have quite a lot to think about today, and I really hope that you have taken some notes from this presentation, because even if he just took away one sentence and started thinking about it, it can potentially skyrocket your business. Now, obviously, you will definitely need some help and support implementing these changes, and I do understand that it's sometimes over your head because you'd rather do what you do best. And but we also don't want to say, oh, give us 100 grand and we will build you £1 million funnel, because it's just not us. We like working with clients. So this year we decided to do something that we've never done before, and we are not going to do for another at least 12 months. And it is our signature 7-figure funnel jump program. Now, I'm really excited to share these news with you because obviously I haven't shared it with many people. And it is probably a life changer for the right type of clients. What a 7-figure funnel jump does is, if you are making 5 figures, we will work with you until you make 6, and it is a 12-month commitment, 12-month program, which consists of live group coaching every week, and you will also get 2 hours to sit down with me so I can hold you accountable. But there will be accountability within the group as well. The group will be very, very small, so I am limiting the number of participants to 8 businesses because I can physically not work with more than 8 businesses. I would love to work with more, and obviously later down the line, when I have trained some sales funnel experts to be almost as good as me, I'm probably going to do that, but not at the moment. So 8 people, and it's a done with you marketing funnel service. So I will have to work closely with you instead of you giving us the information, we going away to build a funnel. I will hold your hand, give you technical support, give you some ideas, hold you accountable, which is a really good thing, and hopefully it connects your business. So it is an offer, it is not for everyone, obviously. If you are scared of taking risks, if you are scared of doing the hard work, if you are scared of making 7 figures of your business without working harder, it's not for you. But if you think that you could benefit from 10xing your lead generation, and there's a money back guarantee on that as well, then I would like you to go to the link below this video. I'm going to publish it right there and see if you qualify. It's an application only program, so we don't just work with anyone and everyone. Obviously, we want to make sure that we can work with the people we can help the most, really, because that's really important. We want to maintain our 100% 5-star reviews everywhere. So we want to make sure that you're the right fit when it comes to culture, when it comes to goals, and when it comes to your expectations and what we offer. So if you would like to find out more about the 7-figure funnel jump, you're a life coach, business coach, or anyone selling high ticket services, please click on the link below, fill out the quick questionnaire, and we are definitely going to get back to you. Thank you very much for your time today. I hope you found this video valuable. Please share it with your connections because that's going to help us reach more people with this important information about funnels. And I really hope that I will see you inside the 7-figure funnel job program if it is the right time and the right fit for you.